Hey, welcome to Loud and Brave. I am Charlie, your host, and I hope you're having a marvelous day today or night, whenever you happen to be watching this. And today, I wanted to talk to you about something that happened to me this weekend. I was playing a show in Indiana. It was a really great show with a lot of other local Indiana artists, and I think some from Illinois too. But it was just a really fun show, and I enjoyed getting out and just meeting some new people and meeting some of you maybe that are watching. Were there at the show. We had a great time. I had, of course, when I go and perform, I have like my CDs and vinyl there. And in the course of the evening, I was talking to someone who had come up and had gotten one of the vinyls of the new record, Loud and Brave Before Sunrise. And they asked me a question about the cover. And so I thought, sometimes album covers don't mean anything. Sometimes it's just like a picture of the artist or just a picture of something cool or some cool artwork or whatever. Like it can be a bunch of different things. And they asked me, was there something behind this album cover? Did it mean anything? Was it just random? And so, of course, it was a fun conversation to have because I did everything on this record. In addition to like playing and singing and producing and mixing everything on the record, I also did all the graphic design, and there was some definite intent behind the album cover. It's not something that I go out of my way to talk about all the time. If someone asks me, then I'm excited to talk about it. But it's also the kind of thing where I don't necessarily want to define it for everyone because like I think all great art is supposed to do, it's supposed to make you think. Hopefully it challenges you in some way. Hopefully it resonates with you in some way. And hopefully it's authentic and universal enough to where you can sort of define for yourself what it means. And having said that, there's also times when, whether you're talking about, a song or a painting or just artwork in general, that in addition to wanting it to be universally accessible and wanting the listener / reader / whatever to kind of make up their own interpretation of what it means or what it could mean, because you want them to be able to feel like they have some ownership in it. There's also the reality that something probably inspired that, something probably moved the artist to create it. And so I wanted to show you, in case you haven't seen the album cover, here it is. So this is what the album cover looks like. This is just one of the sleeves for the vinyl for Loud and Brave Before Sunrise. And I don't have the actual vinyl in here, but it's a red translucent record. If you want to buy the vinyl, shameless plug, you can buy it on my Bandcamp site. Just go to Bandcamp and look for Charlie E. Ash, or go to my website, charlieeash.com, and you can click the link to my Bandcamp site there. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Just go to charlieeash.com. All of my other links are there. But anyway, this is what the album cover looks like. Take a good look at it. And this was intentional. When I created this, it definitely had intent behind it. And for me, the intent was, here, I can hold it up there and you can still see it. You can see me and you can see it. So as you can see on the album cover, let me give you another close-up of it. There's like two they look like industrial buildings or cityscapes or something. And then there's a bridge in the middle. And on one of the sort of skylines, you see there's a symbol, and someone asked me what that symbol meant. And I'm not going to tell you what the symbol means because I think that you can make it mean whatever you want it to mean as far as that goes. But the idea behind this, from when I was creating it, was that you got these two sort of skylines of two separate places. And we live right now in such a time of, I hate the word identity politics, but that's sort of what it is. We're like just tribalism, where you've got this group over here and this group over here, whether you're talking religion or politics or whatever. And I happen to sort of inhabit multiples of tribes. I'm part of the LGB community. I'm also part of the Christian faith community. I'm also part of the music community, and I'm also part of the podcast community. And the list goes on, right? And just like you who are listening, you are part of multiple communities. And if you're someone who is political, then you're probably part of a political community as well. And we have tended in this time that we live in, I think, to everyone is being tempted to back into a corner, and we demonize people who are not like us. We're afraid of people who don't think like us. And we don't talk. We just don't talk to people who don't think like us or believe like us or love like us. We talk at them or we talk about them. But the ability to talk to them, to sit across a table or in the same room and have dialogue and it be civil and still be friends and disagree, it's really becoming a lost art form. In America, if you're watching this in the States, and whether you like either one of these guys is not the point. So I'm going to tell a story, and before I tell it, I just want to be clear. Like I'm not saying you should like either one of these guys, but two guys who are on sort of opposite ends of some of these tribes are Bill Maher, who's a guy that I love to listen to. I don't agree with everything Bill Maher says, but one of the things I admire about Bill Maher is he is, at this point where he's at, he is willing to sit down and talk to people, have dialogue with people who he disagrees with. And he's not mean about it. He's not hateful. He doesn't demonize them. He listens. And fairly recently, he got an invitation to go to the White House and talk to the American president, Donald Trump, Donald Trump is someone that Bill Maher has roundly criticized over and over again. He's been pretty ruthless about his, critique of President Trump, and he doesn't agree with a lot of the things that President Trump says or does. Some of the things he actually does, but the things that he agrees with, I think, are definitely fewer than the things he does agree with. However, he got the invitation and he went, and he was criticized by a lot of people who don't agree or like the president. And, his response was, what do you want me to do? Sit here 3,000 miles away and just hate the guy and continue to criticize him? Because that really gets us nowhere. And he chose to go. And, and I'm not going to tell any more of the story than that. If you want to know more about it, go watch Bill Maher. He's got a great show, in my opinion, a great show. He's got a podcast. I think he's worth listening to because he seems to be an honest broker, whether you agree with him or not. He listens to other sides, to other perspectives, and that's something I respect. And it's really something that was sort of behind this album cover, was the idea, there you see me in the middle. And that was sort of intentional. Well, actually, it wasn't sort of intentional. It was totally intentional, because that's where I find myself a lot of times. I tell people that I am often, when I'm around people who are very far right, I don't fit in there because I'm too liberal for them. And when I'm around people who are very far left, I don't fit in there because they think I'm too conservative. So I don't really know. I'm somewhere in the middle on a lot of things, right? And really what I'm hoping to do through everything I do at this point is facilitate conversations, to encourage people to be bridge builders instead of, let's stop just blowing up bridges so that we all resort to being in our tribes, separated from each other, not talking, not listening, because that really does get us nowhere. And that was part of the thinking behind this album cover. It's not all it's about, but there was definitely the thought that part of what I'm trying to do is be a bridge builder, to be someone who can bring people from different places together to talk, to listen, to try to understand, to stop hating other people who are not like them, to stop demonizing people, whether you're talking about people of faith or people in a political realm or people who are part of a different, whatever, ethnicity, or come from a different country, or love someone in a way that you don't love, whether that's gay or straight or bi or whatever, that we're all still human and we have to live on this planet together and we need to love each other and we need to be able to talk to each other, not just about each other or not just talk at each other. The ability to listen, the ability to empathize, the ability to see that that is someone who is someone's son or daughter, someone's mother or father, someone's grandparent. And if you're a person of faith, the understanding and the belief that that's someone that God loves. And so we should not resort to hate. We should be able to sit down and talk to them and listen to them. You know, I heard someone say once, God gave us twice as many ears as he did mouths. That means we should listen twice as much as we talk. And I think that would be a real good rule of thumb in the day that we live in right now, as we are trying to be bridge builders, is maybe listen twice as much as we talk. I hope that I can do that. I hope that you can do that. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button before you leave my page today. I love you, and I hope that you continue to be brave and be loud. We'll see you next time.